If you're looking for a stereo receiver with plenty of power, Wi-Fi streaming, and lots of inputs, the Yamaha R-N800A is a great choice. It's a high-performance network receiver that keeps it simple, allowing you to focus on your music. And with Yamaha's YPAO room correction, you can get good stereo sound in less than perfect layouts. Plus, it's got some old-school charm. Let's take a closer look. First, the power. The R-N800A delivers 100 Class AB watts RMS per channel, and it's 4 ohm and 6 ohm stable if your speakers are designed that way. It's a discrete amplifier, which means it's made from individual parts, and it allows Yamaha to simplify the signal path. That fits with their philosophy of audio purity, in which they seek to make the path as short as possible. Built-in Wi-Fi lets you connect to your network and stream high-res music from services like Tidal, Qobuz, and others. Apple AirPlay 2 is there for Apple users, and you also get Bluetooth. It's two-way Bluetooth, which is always nice to have as an option so you can beam the sound to a pair of headphones or maybe a speaker on the patio. Also built in is Yamaha's whole home MusicCast functionality, so you can make the R-N800A a zone in your MusicCast setup. Even if you don't have other MusicCast gear, the app does a good job of consolidating your streaming music into one convenient place. You can also use your Streaming Services Connect app if you prefer. The R-N800A's design is classic Yamaha. Form follows function, which is my kind of design. There's a large volume knob with a nice feel to it, bass, treble, balance, and loudness dials, push and twist selector knobs, and a few buttons. A 1/4-inch headphone jack lets you listen privately, and there's a smaller input for Yamaha's included room correction mic. I love having bass and treble controls on the front panel because at home I listen to a pair of speakers that reveal a lot of detail, but occasionally need some mild taming in the treble range. No app needed, just walk up to the receiver and notch it back slightly. The loudness control dial might be my favorite though. That's for when you need to turn your music down, and it compensates for the high and low frequencies that otherwise get hard to hear when volume goes down. Loudness control keeps your sound balanced. Yamaha has really figured this out, and here's how you use it. Start with the loudness dial in the flat position, and then turn up the volume to your preferred listening level. Then use the loudness dial to moderate your volume, and you'll hear your bass and treble much more clearly as the volume goes down. Along the bottom, a high-contrast OLED display gives you basic information. Since it's OLED, there's no slightly glowing backlight, and it makes the display look super clean, especially on the black model you see here. Around back, you've got 4 analog inputs, including a moving magnet phono input. There's also 4 digital inputs, 2 optical and 2 coaxial. You'll also see a USB-B input, connections for AM and FM antennas, a stereo preamp output, a subwoofer output, and 2 sets of speaker terminals. The USB and other digital inputs can take advantage of the premium ESS Sabre DAC inside. I referenced Yamaha's philosophy of audio purity earlier, and the best way to see this in action is to take a look inside the receiver. They look to simplify the signal path and take care to make their left and right channels symmetrical in layout. Left of the volume knob, you'll see a button labeled Pure Direct. That button bypasses the tone controls to provide the shortest route through the receiver's circuitry. It even turns off the display and kind of embodies the high-fidelity ethos. Perhaps the most interesting thing about the N800A, however, is that it comes with Yamaha's room correction. You see room correction built into home theater receivers all the time, but it's rare to see in a stereo receiver. Yamaha's room correction is called Yamaha Parametric Room Acoustic Organizer, or YPAO. With only 2 channels to correct, Yamaha tries to match EQ curves of the 2 speakers to each other to give you the best stereo imaging in your room. The included mic listens to your room, and YPAO goes to work to get the speakers in sync. If you have 2 sets of speakers hooked up to the A and B terminals, you can set different YPAO curves for each set. The R-N800A is the second of 4 network stereo receivers in the Yamaha R-N series. If you don't want room correction and can live with 80 watts per channel, the R-N600A offers similar performance and saves you some money. If you'd like an HDMI ARC input for your TV, plus some upgraded internal components, consider the R-N1000A. And if you want Yamaha's best in this line, there's the R-N2000A with a toroidal transformer, a higher signal-to-noise ratio, and VU meters. You can't go wrong with any of these R-N series receivers. They'll give you years of life and enough headroom for most speakers. I'm becoming a believer in room correction for stereo setups, so I'd recommend the R-N800A to anyone with a less than perfect room, or if you like to run A and B speakers. YPAO does a very good job here. If you have questions about this receiver, another receiver, or anything else at Crutchfield, just get in touch. Thanks for watching.